Entry-level mining information. Welcome to Australian Mining for New Starters, and today we'll do the prices, we'll have a look at some news, and I want to talk about how there's not a one-size-fits-all to getting a mining job, how you need to take a different approach depending on what type of or what area of the industry that you're trying to get into. But let's have a look at the prices to start with and the news. So copper comes in at $11,797 a tonne when you convert it to Australian dollars, which is excellent, which is why companies like Coda are building or trying to build their copper portfolio by picking up old resources that have good prospects around them. They've bought an old copper mine up around Mount Isa that's got some good drilling results around it, and they're going to push ahead with their copper portfolio that way. Lots of companies are trying to do this at the moment, buy up old copper assets and have a look and see what's around them just because the price is so good. Next, if we have a look at nickel comes in at $21,817 a tonne, so an excellent price. And the big news is that Panoramic Resources are reopening their big nickel and copper mine that they've got up in the Pilbara, and that's Savannah Nickel Mine, and Barminco are going to be the contractor for it. They've signed a 4-year contract for $280 million, and it's supposed to be mobilisation in the middle of this year with a brand new mining fleet. So there's going to be lots of jobs going up that way for people that are interested. Next, if we have a look at gold's pretty much around where it was at the end of last week, even though it's gone up and down and up and down again. It was over 2,300 at one stage yesterday, but it's dropped a little bit overnight. So it's still up there. But the interesting thing about it is that the demand for gold's never been more, with the Perth Mint announcing that their first quarter sales in 2021 are a record, which is a good indication of where the price is going to go, because you can't have that much demand without it rising. So this price here will probably head back up to around that 2,700 a mark that we saw about 6 months ago. Next, if we have a look at iron ore is coming in at $223 a tonne, which is excellent. And for the news this week, I just want to have a look at this surprisingly honest ad that's been put out by Roy Hill for entry-level truck drivers new to the industry. And the really interesting thing about it here is this line that basically says that you've got a job until it's a maximum contract till early 2023, when they're going to replace everybody with an autonomous mining fleet. So basically you've got a job for 2 years, and this is what I've been trying to impress on people that are trying to get into iron ore at the moment. All the companies that can turn their mines autonomous, that have got strip mines. If you want to know more about strip mining, then I suggest you come over to the sponsors autonomous page and have a look at that, and that goes into great detail on why the strip miners can replace the truck drivers with autonomous trucks. But that's the plan, and that's been the plan for a long time now, is to replace everybody with autonomous trucks where they can, i.e. in their strip mines in iron ore in WA or the coal mines in North Queensland. BHP are quite open about the fact that they've got a program over there at the moment to replace or to turn 500 truck driving jobs into driverless trucks across their 7 strip mine coal mines. So the thing that I like about this is that it's honest, whereas the BHP ads that come up sort of are a bit open-ended. They tell you that you're on a contract, but it doesn't tell you what happens next. So what does happen after 2023? Well, there's a whole heap of people on the market that have got truck driving experience on the surface. And this is one of the reasons why I tell people that if you want a long-term job, you really need to focus in on hard rock underground. That's where you're still going to have a job in 10 or 20 years' time. If we have a look at coal is $88 a tonne, and as I've talked about before, coal's a bit hit and miss with jobs, and the best place that I've found to get information is this Facebook page, Mining Jobs in the Bowen Basin. I find their information really to be quite accurate about what's going on in the industry, and that's where, if you're trying to get into coal, I'd do my research. Now, I was wanting to talk about the different jobs or the different areas you can get into requiring different things. So this is a page from the sponsor's site, and it's got before and after, and this is done from a real person that came through the training about 2 years ago, and we redid their resume for them. They handed their resume in like this. They'd had it done professionally, and this is exactly what you need if you're going to go for a coal mining job in Queensland, if you were going to go and try and get shutdown work, or if you were going to, back in the day, try and get onto one of those big oil and gas plants where everybody was making all those, hundreds of thousands of dollars back in the day. Unfortunately, those jobs don't exist anymore. And one of the things you'll notice is there's lots of tickets and all that sort of stuff. Whereas we converted it to a hard rock resume that looks a bit more like this. It's obviously got the sponsor's training on it to let them know that he knew about how the hard rock underground mine works. We kept some of the tickets, like the articulated haul truck ticket, just because they use articulated trucks underground. But he sent this one out, not this one, we've obviously changed the names to protect the innocent and the job locations. We did keep the Brisbane City Council on there, but everything else is a made-up name. And he sent them out. Within the first couple of weeks, he got 3 interviews, and within 2 months, he got a job. So he was really, really happy about all that. And all he initially did was the sponsor's intro to underground mining. And he spent the $450, redid his resume. He sent it in. It was pretty close to what it was, and we were looking for a resume before and after, so we agreed to do it for him for nothing if he'd let us use his resume, which he has done, with obviously changing the things around. But that was really good. So all that information's in there on how to redo your resume in that Australian mining seminar. I hope you find that information helpful, and if you've got any more questions, please let me know. And if you could share this information around and like and subscribe the channel. Thank you.